back to Random Things with BK. Today we're going to change the rear brakes on this Nissan SUV, and it's disc brakes, so we're just going to get started. We're going to jump in, we're going to change them out, just the pads, yeah. So the first thing that you got to do is obviously you got to jack the car up. So we're going to do that. Most SUVs will have some jack points that are either right down here in front of the back wheel, and you can see right here in the frame kind of where it's at, or you can jack off of any like metal solid point within, you know, the car. So the thing you don't want to do is jack up on any of this plastic. So like right here would be a really bad spot, because you're going to push all that up and you can end up hurting the car. So you don't want to do that. So you roll the jack over and get it into place. You don't have to go super high, just high enough to get your tire up off the ground, and you're good to go. All right, so the next thing we got to do is we got to take off the lug nuts. And so we're going to figure out what size these lug nuts are. And they're probably a 18 or a 19, sometimes they're a 17. That one's too big. Oh, we found it. All right, so once you have all the lug nuts off, you're just going to grab the wheel and pull it off and just roll it over to the side. I like to set them down backside so you don't scratch up your wheel. And there you go. Okay, so the next thing that we got to do is we need to determine how these pads load into this caliper. So it looks like that we're just going to need to remove these two bolts here so that we can pull this caliper down, load in the new pads, and then we're good to go. So that's what we're going to try. All right, and so for this model Nissan, it is a 14 millimeter socket to pull that. All right, and if once you get them broke, you can use your power ratchet, if you have one, to take them out, which is a lot quicker. Shameless plug for power ratchet. And then you just pull out the center, just like that. And then it's important for you to pay attention to how your pads fit in and how these clips are, because they're going to be different on different vehicles. But on this one, you can see that, see, it just pulls off like that. And then the same thing on this side. And then this clip here, see, I'm trying to look to see how it goes on. It has this tab here. Actually, those are, how does it go on? See, it snaps in down on this tab, and then there's one in the back that is very similar, and that's what holds it in. Now I'm going to leave it right there until I get the new one so that I can make sure I put it back on correctly. So if we'll grab the new one. Okay, so the new brake pads are a little different than the old brake pads. The old brake pads, you can see, just had a straight tab on there, which this has, but it also has the clip there instead of using this external clip. So you're going to remove that clip and the top one. Okay, and then your pad is going to go on, well, I grabbed the wrong one, but your pad's going to go on like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to push, except for it's got to go on at the same time. You got to get both sides there, get the clip facing in, and then push, and then slide it in like that. And that's what holds it in. And how you know which way it goes is because the curved part should be facing the rotor. See, the relief. So you just got to do the same thing on the back side. Which is a little harder to see. Alright, so turns out that they gave Rogers the wrong brake pads. So we had to run back out to the parts store to swap them out for the right ones. So now we have hopefully the correct pads, and I'm going to show you something. These particular pads actually tell you where they go. So right hand inner and then just outer, okay? And if you remember, I showed you when I was taking it apart about the clips. So now we got to look through this bag here and figure out which of these are the right clips. There's a whole bunch of them in here and they're not all the same. So I think these look too small, and so do those, but we'll see. That kind of looks like it. So she's a winner. So you can see I'm clipping in these new clips, and we're going to put one up top here. All right, and we got those. We're going to get the outer pad and just slide it into place just like that. And then hopefully this inner pad goes in just how it's supposed to, and we don't have to fight with it like we did our last one. And looky there, no problems. All right, so the next part of this, I'll flip my chair over, is that we've got to compress this caliper back down, because it won't, if we don't do that, then it's not going to fit over the brake pads. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a C-clamp. They're still not big enough. Come on, C-clamp. Well, what I always do is I just take one of the old brake pads and I set it in here, because that is usually the easiest thing to grab and put in there. And then you're just gonna tighten your C-clamp, and like this one, because of the way I couldn't get all the way back here, sometimes you gotta hold it, but it's not very hard to compress it. It's just gonna push back in there. The spider webs off of it, and you're just gonna compress it back in there until it's flat, till that pad, you can see how the pad is all the way back to the base of the thing, of the caliper. So that should work. So now we'll take our caliper and bring it back down and see how easy it just slides right back on, no problem. And we're gonna grab our, oh, almost forgot. Take a little bit of your lube and put it on where your caliper hits your brake pad. That'll help with the squealing. And then I always put a little bit on these pins too, because they're supposed to have some grease on them. There we go. And then once you get that pin in, just get it started. Alright, and then after you use your ratchet, your power ratchet, I always go back and hand torque them. So you don't want your brakes coming off. That's never a good thing. Alright, she's on there. So that's how you do it. So the next thing we're going to do is just do the reverse of putting the wheel back on. We'll get that done, and then of course we'll do the other side, but the other side is the same as this side, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But we will get the wheel on and get it back down to the ground to kind of finish up this video. But as we do that, I just want to thank everybody for watching. If you're not a subscriber, I'd ask you to become a subscriber. That's what's going to help me get to the point where I can produce more and more content. Don't be afraid of a simple brake job on your car. It's pretty easy to do as long as we have the right parts. And yeah, hope you have a wonderful day.